texted me back and she said, our theme is vision. And I said, okay. And so I think it was Wednesday night, and I function a little bit different than most. So when I'm thinking about something, I'm processing something. One thing that helps me is actually music. So I cut all the lights out in my apartment. I laid on the couch for a few minutes, and I had whatever song I was listening to just playing on repeat. That's how I function sometimes. And so then it kind of just hit me. Because she's like, I want you to tell your story too, but our theme is vision. So I said, okay. So I started thinking, what did I want to talk to you guys about? And what does vision mean? So first, thank you to Keisha for allowing me to have this opportunity. First and foremost, to you graduates, congratulations on a job well done. You've worked hard. And I'm pretty sure you've probably talked to some people that are like, okay, well, you're a hospital nurse, okay. That is a major accomplishment. So at this moment, I want you to give yourselves a round of applause because you've earned it. You've earned it. So, I'm not going to tell you the title that I came up with until the end, and you'll understand why. But how do you define vision? What does it mean to you? What does that word mean to you? The Merriam-Webster dictionary has two definitions. The faculty or state of being able to see, synonyms being the power of sight, ability to see, the power of seeing, and the power of observation. Or the ability to think about or plan the future with the imagination of wisdom. Synonyms being imagination, creativity, innovation, inventiveness, inspiration, perception, discernment, and awareness. In short, a vision starts with a thought. So if you can think it, you can write it. If you can write it, you can implement it, meaning you can do it. The birthing of a vision has 5 key components: passion, determination, perseverance, humility, and servitude. Passion originates from a strong desire that is implanted in our thoughts, based purely on our existence. This passion is driven by what we experience in our everyday lives, whether it is the inspiration of others, pain, adversities, or a desire to make a change. Your passion is the fuel for the fire of your vision. It cannot be quenched until the vision has been fulfilled. Determination. It is an innate drive that will not let you quit, even when you are at your lowest or in your weakest moments. Determination will keep you moving, even when you feel your passion is gone and your vision is lost. Determination is an internal defiance. This defiance will push you to reach new heights and break barriers when others doubt you, or even when you doubt yourself. Determination doesn't subside until the foundation of your vision is built. Perseverance. This occurs when you keep going despite the odds. You continue to put one foot in front of the other. Mentally and emotionally, you might say or feel as if you have to give up, or if you have given up. But this is when perseverance steps in and you keep going, despite how things may appear. You might cry every night, or you might become withdrawn because you are not sure what you are doing and why you are doing it. Yet, you keep on because even though you feel that you cannot reach the goal, you refuse to give up. You keep going. You are persistent. You become tenacious and will leave no stone unturned. You will exhaust all options. Perseverance. Humility. Humility keeps you grounded. Humility will redirect your focus. Instead of developing the peacock syndrome, chest stuck out, I've done this, this was me. You remain humble and meek. You accept your accomplishments and view them as building blocks of your vision. With humility, you can continue to grow. You won't become complacent or stagnant. With humility, you will continue to do self-evaluations for improvements. With humility, you will not neglect servitude. Servitude is a choice. Will you serve yourself or will you serve others? Will you remember where you started when you were looking in the eyes of someone needing help? Will you remember how you felt at the beginning of your journey when you crossed paths of someone that is struggling to make their vision a reality? Or will you simply discard all of the memories, thoughts, and emotions you experienced once you have reached your ultimate goal? If you do not remember anything, remember this: servitude feeds your vision. Servitude will cause your vision to grow and flourish. Through servitude, we help heal and show others that someone cares and someone understands their journey. A vision cannot thrive without passion, determination, perseverance, humility, and servitude. So before I finish, I'm going to stop here for a moment. So where did my journey start? Sometimes we look around and we see others and we're like, man, if only I had the life that they had, this wouldn't be so hard. I've been in nursing 21 years. April made 21 years. And I started out as a nurse aide in a little small country town in a nursing home that was kind of like a throwaway nursing home, actually. And my training was not as lavish as y'all. I saw the pictures, I'm like, well, this is pretty fancy. Mine was 2 weeks hardcore in a little bitty box room in the back on an Alzheimer's unit, to be honest. 2 weeks. Then I worked as a nurse aide, and I finished that, and people would ask, because anyone that knew me knew that academics was my thing. That was my strong suit. So how can someone that's supposed to be so smart not be able to go to college? Good question, huh? So I worked as a nurse aide, and I used to get frustrated because I knew that I wanted to go somewhere. I wanted to do something. And I just didn't understand why I had to start here. Why did I have to start here? So then a year later, I became a medication aide. So I was allowed to pass medications to the patients in the nursing home. So I felt good about that, okay? So as a nurse aide and a medication aide, I worked in that role for about 6 years before I returned to school. And even though I had a lot of ideas what I wanted to do, reality is one thing. So how are you going to get there? So I became a licensed vocational nurse. And that is when I really started to gain an idea of something of what I wanted to do. I began to have a vision. What my vision was then is nothing of what it is now, because it has evolved, it has changed, it has grown. So as a licensed vocational nurse, I continued to work in the nursing homes, and I did some psych facilities, and then I also started working in the med-surg division of the hospitals. And then I relocated to the city. That's a whole new ballgame, a whole new vision, a whole new playing field. Now, mind you, through all this process, I really didn't have those that I could reach to or people that were mentors and knew what I was trying to do. I just kind of was trying to feel through, like, what is going on here? What is going on? What do I do? You ask some people, they don't really want to tell you. Or you have those that kind of shun you. You'll experience that. Because with every vision, with every path, you have more barriers, you have more adversities, then you have praises, then you have accomplishments. But does that deter you from completing your vision? So during this time that I moved up here and was working as a LVN in the agency, for a nursing agency, I was also going through a rough time in my personal life. But nursing was kind of like that sanctity for me. And so I kept pushing forward. And during this time frame, while I was going back to finish my RN, the people, the environment of nursing that I was growing in also became a healing place for me as well. So I became a registered nurse, graduated from UTA, 2009. That was a major accomplishment for me. The day that I walked the stage as a RN graduate or graduate nurse, preparing for my RN licensure, I began to actually see the fruition of what I was trying to do. Now, nevertheless, I still didn't know what the road ahead really had, but I still knew that I wanted to be able to be in a place where I could help others. So after that, I decided to go into ICU critical care. So for the last decade, I have been an ICU and ER nurse. I am also a nurse educator inside the hospital, outside of the hospital. Some of the things I've done here at Parkland, the very first PCAT program, I actually helped devise the curriculum. I built a program that is now a full-time job in our HR department for observations, for pre-med, PAs, individuals that are trying to navigate the system to get what they need to get where they go, okay? And I've also worked on a 3-year project with the CDC. None of these things were actually on the plan, it was on the agenda. But as I grew, my vision grew. But one thing I never failed to do, I never failed to forget those that was in the trenches, those that were trying to direct their paths. So also during this 10-year period, maybe halfway through, I got really sick, like ICU, deathly ill sick. And it took me on a detoured path. Detoured me a little bit. And I was like, why? Why this? Why this? Why this now? But it also became a benefit. So during that time, shortly after that time, after I was able to get back on track from a health perspective, I started working on my first master's in nursing education. I was like, well, I'll just do this to get started, get back in the swing of things, so I can continue to grow and build what I'm doing. So I started that program, and then a year later, I got accepted into a doctorally prepared dual nurse practitioner program. So yes, 14 days ago, I did walk with my dual master's as a dual nurse practitioner. But it was a journey. I cried a lot. In fact, I didn't think I was going to finish. And I said I wasn't going to finish because I was dealing with too many oppositions. And one part of the journey I do want to share with you that very few people know, maybe 2 or 3, to be honest, outside of my family. Sometimes we see things and we think we know what's going on, but we really don't. You never really know what a person is facing or what a person is dealing with. When you have a vision, you also sacrifice, and you also lose. A year ago today, I'm gonna say my spring semester, My spring semester of 2018 was probably one of my hardest. I was having to complete so many clinical hours. It was 300, but I had to do it outpatient. So doing it outpatient also affected how many hours I could actually work. I'm my own provider. If I don't work, I don't eat. Make sense? I won't say anything. As many of you, you're probably the first person in your family to even venture on an advanced education. Am I correct? So am I. So a lot of things that I've done, there's not a lot of understanding of what I've tried to do, what I've been doing. Now my family's very supportive, but at the same time, some of the things that I was dealing with, I was like, well, I can't ask them for that because by definition, I should be in a better place. Okay? So there's a lot of things I was dealing with and I kept it to myself. May 17th, I think it was actually May 20th actually, and I had a really rough semester with clinicals, you know. There's a whole piece behind that, okay? I had a really rough time. But it was one of those days I was actually headed to work to teach a class. And I was like, okay. I had thought about it and I was like, okay, I got my game plan together, I'm ready. You know, this semester is pretty much over. I can get things back on track. I got this. So I really was walking out of my apartment in a really good place. Mind you, I've been dealing with a whole lot that I had not really told anyone. I walked into the parking garage and almost fainted because my car was gone. Gone. And it wasn't just any old, mediocre car. I remember the day I bought this car, about 2.5 years before. It was brand new, fully loaded, on the showroom floor. So yes, I was proud of my car. And I walked out, and it was gone. Was I able to get it back? Do you think I was in a place to get it back? Do you? No, I was not. So that summer 2018, I was actually walking and catching the trains to come to work, trying to figure out what I was going to do. How was I going to get ready for the fall? How was I going to get to clinicals? How was I going to work? If I can't work, I can't get back on my feet. Barriers, adversities. My siblings stepped up and helped me a lot. They did. One of them actually told me, you've given so much. Now it's time for you to return the favor, for us to return the favor. Let us help you. So that summer was a pretty humbling experience. I'd never experienced that. In fact, I lost my car, brand new car I had, well, 2.5 years, but it was a brand new car. Ended up getting a hoopty and lost that too within a month of each other. And I was like, how much can one person take? What am I doing and why am I even doing this? What purpose am I serving? Do I really need to be a nurse practitioner? Because I'm losing everything. I'm losing my sanity. My nerves are bad. I'm anxious. I'm sick. And I'm losing everything. Surely enough, I was able to get something. I called my little bucket of wheels, get back on track. Start the fall semester. I'm like, okay, we got this. I got this. I know it's been tough. This is the last clinical year. It's inside the hospital. I definitely have resources and I definitely know people that can kind of help me get what I need to get to complete this next piece of the journey. Started out, was doing good. Then another major barrier. I had a preceptor pull out. Basically, we was actually meeting face to face. And they said, well, I didn't realize these hours were for this semester. Mind you, I've been working on this for probably about 9 months. So at this point, it's either I find somebody or I withdraw and don't graduate. Devastated. I'm like halfway through the 3rd semester of clinicals. Long story short, barriers that follow me all the way through this current semester. So, to give you an idea of what I've had to do to keep pushing, to be determined, and I was at a point that I was really just going, like 1 foot in front of the other. 1 foot in front of the other. The last week of February, from the last week of February to April 26th, I had to do, in order to graduate, this did not include the fact that we had exams every other week, covering anywhere from 300 to 500 pages worth of material, 4 large papers that we had to write. This doesn't include that. The last week of February to April 26th, I had to complete 380 hours to graduate. Yeah. And I was coming to work in the evenings to get things done. But I wanted to give up. It was tough. Why am I doing this? What is my purpose? But I had a preceptor that told me, it is your humility, it is your passion that drives you. Humility and passion. You're not going to always have people that's going to understand, but you hang on to those that do, because they're going to become your support, no matter what you do. So with that, there's a quote, a statement that Ermias Ashkodon once said. He said, "I'm about seeing long term, seeing a vision, understanding nothing really worthwhile happens overnight, and just sticking to your script long enough to make something real happen." We got turned down for opportunities. We failed, we had setbacks, and we had to start over a lot of times, but we kept going at it. In anybody's case, that is always the distinguishing factor: your passion, your determination, your humility, perseverance, and your servitude. Those are your deciding factors on your vision. So in closing, I'll leave you with 2 questions to ponder. You may not remember anything I've talked about. You may not remember anything I've said. But ask yourselves, when you're having a rough day, and you're like, what am I doing? What is this for? Where am I going from here? What is your vision is number 1. What is your vision? And number 2, what legacy will your vision write? Think about it. And again, congratulations.